Let's wait for this. Just one more second, guys. Welcome to Alchemy 101 with Halo Marquise, founder of Mystech, Wizard, Jedi, all that fun stuff. Tonight, I've got a Mr. Amante Milliarder Marquise in the building, special guest.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had an amazing New Year. You know, we had we had quite the eventful holiday season, we'll say. And so tonight, guys, just so you know, we are live right now on Facebook and on Instagram, and this is a pre-recorded show for Artists First. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. You can catch me online, and once a month, I like to have my son Amante come on, and I don't know, it felt right being the New Year.
Yeah. This was perfect timing.
Yeah. Jade, so what's up, brother?
Hello.
How you doing? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful wife's in the building. Jeanette, how you doing? So if you are listening on Artists First, this is a pre-recorded show. Otherwise, if you're with us either on Facebook or Instagram, we are live. So please feel free, shoot out any questions. We just want to really get everyone kind of pumped up for the new year, focused on some ways just to really get the resolutions really focused, really taken care of. And, just talk about what happened with Mystech this year. Yeah. What do you think about what would happen this year with Mystech?
It definitely grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also turned into, Alchemy 101, the show you guys are on now, and into the Order of Alchemy, which is the Jedi school that we've been working on. So tonight we're going to talk about that as well. Brian, how you doing, man? Happy New Year. Oh, man. Yeah. Sorry to hear about that, man. We'll we can talk about that offline too. But yeah, man, good to have you. And I believe really the heart of the show is just Alchemy 101. Our theme is acknowledging our lead and transforming it into gold, right? And we mean this metaphorically and really as well. These are things that you can learn to do, but a lot of people get this idea. What's up?
You're a bit loud.
Oh, sorry. Let me adjust that. Thank you, man. Got my kid over here on the studio. Yep. Learn how to do recording and fun stuff. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry. So, but the thing is, a lot of people think this being woke, this conscious enlightened movement is about always being explicitly happy and faking it and doing these things. And realistically, that's just not the way it works, right?
Yeah.
Acknowledging the ups and downs, the pain, the excitement, all of it is all parts of our experience here. And so going into 2019, I don't know about any of you guys that are out there right now, but I felt like it took us a whole extra day to get into 2019, right? Yeah. 2018 just seemed like it was grasping on for dear life. It was just a lot of last minute things. We had just gone through the solstice, right? What did you think about Yule this year, man?
It was surprising.
It was different, right?
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah. What do you think of the full moon?
The full moon was beautiful.
Right? Wasn't that intense?
Yeah.
And so what was really crazy is you guys know, if you're new to the show, when I say alchemist, wizard, these things, it's just understanding a certain level of physics and energy transfer and so on. So when you hear about spells and words, and really all it is your intent that's put out there. And when it's focused, you really have the ability to manipulate a lot of things that you would normally think that you could, which sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, like getting into some practices and learning how to do it, it's absolutely amazing. And this year for the full moon, if you follow me on either social media, you just saw pictures of this really interesting, like green energy ball flame or whatever that kind of came out of my hand as part of this incantation of going into the new moon, the new year. And so, welcome to the future is now, guys. We are now at the 2019 spot, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think going into it? Like, what's going to be different for you this year, Monte?
I'm definitely going to help more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what did you already start doing for stuff like that?
Oh, I started making breakfast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, let's check this out. So never made breakfast, helped a couple times, but the other morning he called me down when I was in the middle of working. And what'd you make us?
I made you guys strawberries and PB&Js, but I made them in the design of different Egyptian things.
Right. And so mine came in the shape of an ankh. Right. Now, what's really funny about this, guys, is so Amante, my son, he's 11 years old. Right. And there's a lot of things that we can learn from children, and understanding that their minds are working in ways that we've just forgotten how to. Right. So what I loved about this, and it's one of the things I want to talk about, just how to keep your resolutions this year. Right. Because a lot of times we get like, 9, 10, 15 ideas. I'm going to do this and this and this, and I'm going to stay in touch with these people more. And I'm going to start going to the gym, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do it personally.
Yeah.
Right? But taking something as simple as that and turning it into like a game, right? And especially with the kid. So sorry, everyone that's on IG. Sorry, Jerome, how you doing, man? Black A, what's happening? Jade, Jennifer, Vero, how you guys doing? Happy New Year. If I didn't tell you, it was crazy. Jazz, Keith, Brandon, good to see you guys. Monty, you know a couple of these people.
Yep.
Tell us up.
Hello.
And so turning your routine, right, or your lack of a routine into a game, right?
Yeah.
So him turning it into art is an amazing way to create a pattern, right? Because what happens a lot of times is we have this motivation and we do it because everyone else is doing this, right? One of my shows was once about, it's always your birthday, right? Every day, right? Every day is a brand new thing.
Yep.
So we have this programmed idea that we wait to the new year, and it's fine. If that's what you got to do to be the catalyst and to jump you into it, fantastic, no big deal. But taking those things and turning them into a game the moment you want to start. Like if you missed New Year's and you didn't start your resolutions, you can start tomorrow. It's still okay. You can start right now. It's still going to be okay, right? The molasses in your feet, the sludge in your gears, whatever it is that's keeping you from being motivated, that really stops the moment you want it to.
Yep.
Right? So again, Amante, he hasn't really done the breakfast thing like that before. And then afterwards, what'd you say?
That was very fun. I want to do it even more.
Right. Now, this is a thing. Last week, guys, I had Ryan Goss on from Ryan's Ideology. Amazing artist. Definitely go back and check out last week's show. How you guys doing? But one of the things we were talking about with just being an artist and being creative, right? And something as simple as breakfast, right? This is a thing. As adults, especially, and I think we've got all age groups out there, but it should apply to everybody. We have this idea like when you wake up in the morning, you're doing everything you can before you have to go to school, right? When you're at school, you're counting down the minutes to get out of school, right? When you come home, you're going through your homework as fast as you can. Your chores, like you're always waiting for another thing to be done, right? It never seems like there's enough time and enough things, right? Now, making breakfast and cooking, guys, like one of these days, I'm going to do a whole cooking episode and show you guys how I do in the kitchen because I love cooking and I like just combining weird things and turning it into a game because to me, it's really therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
So while you're creating not just breakfast to do a kind deed for your mom and dad, you're also making this art project, right? And at what point, when you knew you were done, did you take a second and just look at it and be like, "That's it," and you knew that you accomplished what you set out to do?
Yeah.
How'd that feel before you even took it up to us?
Oh, it felt amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah, and the moments waiting up to see our reaction, how was that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm asking these questions, guys, is just that simple act of like just doing a random act of kindness. Like that's a great thing. But turning it into an art project or into a game where there's a start, there's a process, and then you can look at your finished product, like that small thing is an accomplishment a lot of us never, ever get because we're always worried about getting to the next thing, right? So I know a lot of single parents out there, special single moms that have to cook for their kids every single day. That step, right, getting that done, even though all these other things might be weighing on their shoulders and all that stuff, getting those things done is a sense of accomplishment. It's done. Right. And that is a huge thing that will drive you into the next thing. So this year, as you're, trying to fine tune your 2019, because you do not want your, toxicity, right, of 2018 going into this new year. And so you have to kind of just make some fine tunings and some adjustments that might seem kind of different. Cody, thank you. The video will be great. Last night we did, how was last night's dinner, man?
Oh, delicious.
Yeah, we made this vegan spaghetti with like a coconut cream roux with garlic. It was amazing. But yeah, sorry, you know me, I'm all over. It's part of what we do on the show. So let's see. Steven, what's up, brother? I had to stop by and say, hey, I love you too, man. Hope everything goes good in Vegas. Jazz, what's happening? Jazz is here.
Oh, hello, Jazz.
Hope everything's good. Love you, love you. What's up?
But what I was going to say is maybe you guys did not see the old one that I did with my dad, but if you did, like halfway through, I was talking about how you could turn negatives into positives. And so right now, in the same way, kind of, you can turn something boring into something fun.
Just to make it into a game.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the cool thing. When you make the game up, you get to make up the rules, right? You get to keep up the score. You make all that stuff.
Good example. Imagine you're a businessman and you have like this huge stack of paper. Instead of thinking of it as paper, think of it as a ton of codes you must solve. Then it'll be more fun and you'll still get it done.
Right. And so a lot of people don't know this, especially if you're new to the show, but we're kind of pro gamers in the family, right? So I run like Mystech the same way that I ran my guild when I used to play World of Warcraft, which is hilarious. But it had a very specific process. You know, you do this, you rinse and repeat, you provide the product, right? And when you find it that way, you approach it in that terms, and it's more of a play, right? You have way less pressure on yourself. You have way less stress. And with less stress, you have less sickness. You just, everything about your body is much more optimal this way. Love you, Jazz. Jerome, good seeing you, man. Thanks for the haircut. You know, if anyone is in the Portland area and likes my haircuts every year, you know, every time I have a show, hitting my guy, Smooth Cuts. You can find him in the Instagram comments. Great dude. Brandon, good to see you too, man. We'll definitely have to catch up. Happy 2019. Adrian, good seeing you too, man. So guys, a while back when I was still living in Scottsdale, we were living in Arizona. I used to write for this company called Mainstream Magazine. Shout out Sean, my man. And it was one of my first opportunities I got to write and talk about just health related things, right? One of the things I talked about was just the New Year's resolution. And guys, this is all, I just consider this for a second, right? A lot of times what will happen is you give yourself, you know, like I said, 10, 15 different things that you want to do, right? And you're doing really good on the diet, right? Like how you been eating recently? You've been eating more food?
Pretty good. Yeah.
You get more protein?
Yeah.
Right. Trying to do more push-ups?
Yep.
Right. Trying to get into it because he's just like me and is real small, but super energetic when I was his age. So, you know, we're trying to skip some steps so, you know, he can get, right?
Yeah.
So getting into these routines of eating better, right?
Yeah.
Getting up and just doing more around the house, just more chores without being asked to, right? You've been doing all this every single day, right?
Yeah.
Now, some days you waited to do them longer than others, right? Some days you do them really fast, but you still get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you don't do one of them or you don't do two of them, do you think you're going to stop doing all of them altogether?
No.
No? Okay, but guys, that's what a lot of times what we do, especially, you know, if you're in your mid to late 20s, we've all fallen victim to the procrastinating of the New Year's resolution. And by day 10 of January, we're already past it. We've moved on. We couldn't stick to it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason that happens is, again, we get overloaded, we get pressured. So reverse that, guys. For your New Year resolution, right? If you haven't already started like cutting out the toxic people, the toxic routines, all those things, if you haven't started doing that, find one thing, right? Maybe something as easy as making breakfast.
Yeah.
And in art, right? Don't just make regular breakfast, make it in an art form, right?
One thing that
go ahead.
When I was maybe like maybe 1 year ago when I used to always go outside, whenever I was super tired, or like very bored and I didn't want to do anything, I just looked at all the trees and thought of all the designs it had.
Yeah, and see the patterns and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
like
and
all the leaves have you ever looked at a leaf and seen the detail?
Of course, man. That's what we do. So guys, that's a huge thing. Like this year, if you haven't picked something out, get outside more. Right? That would be the first thing I can offer you. Just getting out in the sun, especially in the morning, sun up, sun down. You don't have to get into the whole sun gazing thing. If you're not familiar with that, you know, you can look it up. We got a lot of good information out there. But getting into just one thing, right? Doing it every single day consistently for 30 days, right? Not 5 things, not 2 things, just one. And when you can do that one thing every single day for a month, you've at least now created one new habit, and you have the like luxury of feeling that accomplishment. So now you know what it's like to be able to do that, right? So doing it that way, then adding on a new thing next month, instead of jumping with a bunch of things, you just do it one step at a time. And I'm telling you, doing it that way, that is how you'll be able to keep your resolutions and keep them strong. And guys, I'm telling you, as far as this, like waiting to January 1st, that whole thing, you do not have to wait to January 1st. You can decide to do this anytime that you want to. All right. But because we're on this big social clock as it is right now, New Year's is just the human way of doing it. So that's fine. Use whatever catalyst that you need, right? Find out what works for you, right? That's the best thing I can tell you to do. Now, the fine-tuning portion of what I want to talk about on the show. And Almonte, before we move on, do you think I missed anything as far as keeping resolutions?
Don't think of them as resolutions. Think of them as accomplishments.
Okay, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one thing before we move on, that do you have a resolution that you have for the new year?
At the moment, no, not really. Okay. Maybe like help more.
Help more?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Just everywhere or around the house? What?
Yeah, like make breakfast more, help around the house.
Good. Cool. I like it. I got a whole bunch of resolutions, but I started them and no one asked, so we're good. Dale, happy late birthday, brother. Love you. Welcome in. Dale's in the building. Good seeing him. So the fine tuning portion. Okay. First of all, earthing. Cody, you nailed it. Getting outside and doing this earthing thing is so important, and it's been amazing this last year how many people have caught on to this and how much more research has come out and more science that can be shown. It's amazing to me just how much more mainstream it's becoming. So all the light workers out there that have been getting people on board and telling people about this, great job. Please keep up the good work and keep giving out the feedback. That being said, if you're not familiar with Mystech, definitely go check out my site, guys. It's mystech.net. We'll get into the review of how this last year went, but it's another way of literally getting your energy fine-tuned and really going and check that out. But, aside from the selfless plug, sponsors, same thing. Got to do it, right? Got to do it. But aside from that, when you go to that site, there's so much information that you can get on and start researching. So the first piece I would offer you guys as far as fine tuning is, if it's been a while since you read something, get out there and get a new book sometime, right? And so what I did with my son, and do this with your kid, your significant other, someone from work, whatever it might be. But just, again, guys, we enjoy challenging each other as humans. It's part of, I guess, our accomplishments. It's just part of something that drives us. So what I made a deal with my son was, for every page that he reads, remember? You read the Cosmos books? No, the Cosmos and the Human Anatomy book. For every page he reads, I'll read. So one day he decided he wanted to read 11 pages. So I had to read 11 pages, right? And he can do this as often as he wants to, not as often as he wants to, but set it up so it goes both ways and race each other. And then when you're done, you trade books, right? Doing it this way, that will get your brain at least moving into new ideas and new directions. Like, don't get me wrong, watching stuff is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of that as well. I usually got multiple screens going, but there's something about reading that gives your brain the ability to create and imagine, that opens new synapses in your brain and things like that. And reading also creates your brain's ability to follow a certain pattern and routine that will transition to other things in your life as well. So guys, I'm telling you, the best way that you can start this new year is doing everything on purpose. So when, like my son, when he's playing a video game, there's certain games that he can only play for a little amount of time for fun. The other ones he can play, but there's something that he's learning in it as well, like resource management or communication or things like that. But it's so everything from the moment he wakes up until the time he goes to bed, there's some part of the process that's going on that's expanding the mind, right? There's something that you learn about, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And because of this, for the Jedi School, right, for Order of Alchemy, we were at this amazing festival. And guys, check this out. Get into a festival this year too as well. We have an entire probably 3 or 4 episodes talking about these festivals and just, go ahead.
Sorry, but one thing that would definitely help with your creativity that Dad actually got me, well, my mom and Dad got me for Christmas, was a Labo.
Oh, a Labo. Yeah. So guys, Nintendo, right? Video game. But they did this amazing thing and I love it. So Amante, he's talked about wanting to become an engineer.
Yeah,
right?
or
Sorry,
an inventor.
Engineer and inventor. Man, we need more kids like man. Get your kids into this stuff, man. I'm telling you, with all the things out there these days, we have no idea what these kids are going to create. So we got to make sure they have.
Can I get one really quick?
Every
and bring it up.
Yeah, if you want to get one, that's cool. And I'll explain to them. So, guys, so what a Labo is the Nintendo Switch is this new little handheld and video game system that hooks up to the TV as well. But they created these like 3D printed cardboard cutouts that you can actually build 3D like robots and Gundam suits and animals and cars that your kids have to actually make and put together, right? And so once they put it together, it coordinates with the game as well. So I think it's called augmented reality, but he's just had such an amazing time building these things and putting them together that now we're moving into more like 3D type models. A really good friend of mine, Keith, love you, brother, got us like a remote control car that when I was a kid, me and my dad built like one of the really expensive racers. And so it was like an amazing gift. And Amante went crazy because now he's going to have hands-on working on a little mini car. So getting more into that engineering. And so again, it's a play thing, right? It's a play thing. It's a fun thing, but it's also having the hands-on experience, the getting in, the communication, the actual engineering that goes with it that hopefully at 11 gives him some really good fundamentals to carry on as he continues his development. And guys, this is a huge thing. Once we get out of school, because we don't have any like, how do I say this? Really a drive aside from getting a degree once we get out of high school to really learn anything more. And there's so many things out there that we're missing out on and things that would have us excited and not be so depressed and really driven. And if you can't find that for yourself and, I'm not telling anyone how to be parents differently, but I'm telling you just engaging with them more often and doing things that they're wanting to do more and finding out a way to turning it into a joint growing experience is going to be something that's going to be very good for you, let alone you and your child and your parenting and all that. So again, that's one of those things that you can do one action that's accomplishing multiple things. Oh, awesome. So hold on, he's bringing these in real quick. You got to get the door, brother. So if you guys are, just joining, whether it's on Artist First, Instagram, or Facebook, my name is Taylor Marquez. This is Alchemy 101. We're talking about bringing in the new year the right way. I've got my son, Amante Marquez, on with me. And what he just brought in was this really cool invention by Nintendo. So if you're live, then you guys can see this. So this is actually like a motorized motorcycle, and you hook the thing up to it and actually drive a motorcycle, then you can drive it in the game. But he built this. And so having these type of things and tools these days, guys, we didn't have this type of stuff, and look what we've been able to build. So getting your kids these type of things and getting them engaged, let me say, a fishing rod, you can actually go fishing. I mean, it doesn't, do justice to actual fishing, but the building part of it and the other things that go along, I'm telling you, like,
and like
really,
this is even like real, because sometimes if you catch big fish, this will actually like get stuck and you have to actually fight it like in real fishing.
Yeah. So I'm saying, guys, there's too many tools out there, and this is the scary thing, right? The reason I want to call this episode, and again, if you're with me, thank you guys for joining. Welcome to the future is we're a year away. Like I try living in the present and living in the now, but understand we're a year away from 2020, guys. That's insane. 2020 is a year away now. And so how crazy and insane 2018 was. I know so many people do not want these things. Carly, how you doing? Vive, how you doing? Love you guys. I'm coming to Phoenix really soon. Do more mining. I got stuff for you. We'll talk. But you don't want to go into this year, let alone 2020, with a lot of these same types of baggage and routines and letdowns and all these things. So being more concise and communicating with yourself of what you're capable of and with other people is going to be a really big, huge key thing, right? So Monte, after you made us breakfast, right? We were talking about this earlier, guys, start making breakfast. Now you know you can do that, right?
Yep.
Okay, now that you know you can do that, is there any reason not to do it?
No.
Right. So this is another huge thing, guys. Before you ever did it, you were just kind of scared, wasn't sure, nervous, those things, right? And then how easy was it?
Very easy. And you even taught me how to make French toast.
And we did the French
and
toast
eggs.
thing too. And eggs. That's another episode, guys. We'll implement, Alchemy 101 cooking show, Alchemy Fusion something. Yeah, we'll talk. But so until you go and do these things that you're worried about, you're scared of, you're unsure of, you won't know how easy it is, how fun it is, how beneficial. And now, what are you thinking that you might try to accomplish next? Like, well, what's the next thing you want to tackle in the kitchen?
Making French toast.
Just by yourself? Okay.
And eggs.
And eggs. Okay. So again, that first step, you do that, then you move on to the next step. Blake, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Right? But guys, I'm telling you, you have to set these routines up. If anyone has like any questions on the best steps, right, or methods, right, I tell you, just get the calendar, right, and do the star system. Like, do stuff that you would do when you were a kid. It sounds silly, but these little simple things that you can do, you can laugh about it, and laughing about it is going to make it more fun and more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Right. But staying consistent on just one thing a day, right, even if it's just brushing your teeth an extra part of the day. Right? Just some part that's an accomplishment. In fact, when Ryan was on, I think someone had mentioned just making their bed in the morning, right? That one act, right? Now, Monte, he don't like to sleep in bed, so he just has to make the whole living room up. Yeah? No? Yeah?
Very, very funny.
I was making sure he's here. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So,
thank you. I was spacing out.
I know. You good, baby.
Because I was just going to say something.
Oh, what was it?
I was going to say one thing that we definitely need for 2019 is creativity. Way more of it.
Yeah.
Because Dad showed me there's a 13-year-old girl, remember? What did she do?
Which one?
That lived in Africa, remember?
Yeah. So, yeah, there was, and this was a while back, but I was just letting Monte know, like, even kids, like, there were these girls that created a machine that could filter, like, literal urine into clean drinking water because it wasn't something they had there. And these were kids that created this, just studying and getting into it, right? And so if those kids didn't do that, that might not have ever been done. So you have to encourage these kids to really be on fire, to really go out there and give them as many tools as they can, as many as experience as possible. We're in this like moment to moment life now where it's way easier to just put them in front of the television and go back to what we're working on because we're trying to accomplish so many things all at the same time. Right. And so this year, guys, I implore everyone, like while you're looking into 2020 that's coming, and it's important to know that just knows that you know what your trajectory is going to be. And if you don't like what that's looking like, then all you have to do is, where's the remote? All you have to do is change it. You just have to change your trajectory, but you can't do that unless you know what that's already kind of looking like. Yeah, thank you. And so setting up your routines, that's what's going to let you know what your trajectory is. And if you don't have a routine, then, don't be mad at the messenger, but that already should let you know what your trajectory is, right? Which is non-existent. And that's probably why things are not working. Go ahead, man.
Well, while people are shaking off a bit of the stress from 2018, some of the things you can do to help it, like I said, with creativity, like Nintendo Labo, like that was on my birthday, but this Christmas I got a robot one where you actually make one that hooks to your feet and you make a robot. But if not that, drawing or painting, because that really lets stress out. Yeah,
he started doing that, and next thing I know, my son's drawing like anime characters amazingly, right? Elo Solari in the building. Speaking of drawing, you met him. He had big dreadlocks, amazing dude. Elo, how you doing, brother? Fellow Jedi. He's been drawing professionally, does live drawing, and amazing. And what I love about it is art can be whatever you want it to be when you put your
even
focus
like
into
music.
Oh man!
Like imagine having this is something that would be pretty cool to do. But imagine having a canvas, ton of palettes, and just holding paintbrush in your hand, closing your eyes, and listening to music, and just dipping in random ones that you feel like is correct.
Yeah.
Painting it, and then opening your eyes, and you might actually make something beautiful.
Yeah, probably.
Just from the noise.
And some people, that's how they do it. That's awesome. See. And so it's just trying that. You never know. Vive, love you. Absolutely. Change your paradigm. Boom. That's exactly all you have to do. But if you can turn guys, I'm telling you, take this next year that you have and turn everything into play, turn everything into a game, right? Be more pixie-like, be more fairy-like, like do these things, man. Like you have to do these things and it's going to make just life exciting again. Like, why would you not want to have this excitement? Like it's weird. During the holidays, my son ended up in the hospital and had this crazy fever, but I was in the airport for 3 days trying to get to him. And so seeing, no direct offense, but humans and all their madness and all their crazy was insane. Like it was insane seeing all this stuff. And I'm just like, this is how everyone does all this stuff. This is why everyone's stressed, everyone's freaking out. And because of that, I'm like, get away from all those things, slow way down, right? Get back outside, go for walks, go find these leaves that Amante's talking about and use those to do the drawing, right?
Like, sad thing is, not direct to anyone, but most people's routine is wake up, brush your teeth, and then work for who knows how long.
Yeah, and that's it. And when do you enjoy anything for yourself?
Not that much,
Yep.
usually.
And the best kept secret, guys, is all the love and energy and everything you need is right outside, right? When we were living in Phoenix, it was too hot to really go out that much. And now, like, we want to be outside all the time, and it just changes so many things for you. So even something as that, beloved, man, I'm trying to get into these festivals where we can go and camp out for a few days. Oh, it's absolutely incredible. Meeting just genuine people. And guys, this year, another thing that I'm telling you right now that will help with fine tuning it is finding your family. Okay. And I don't mean your blood relatives. I mean your family, the people that you have, like me, my son, my wife, all around the country, just these amazing, loving people. And a lot of guys that are on the show tonight. I mean, you guys are part of our family as far as we're concerned. And it's crazy that there are certain people that I know I can rely on more than blood relatives, because that's just the part of changing that paradigm this year. I feel a lot of people have this extra tension going home for the holidays because so many people have come into these new truths and these new awarenesses, and going home and seeing these old, like, broken, toxic routines just put a lot of people in like a weird disarray and in an uncomfortable spot, right? So this year, going into it knowing that that's what's going to happen, but go into it with your family, going into it with that. That's right. Oh, go ahead. Please.
Really quick, what I wanted to say was, we were at Beloved. I was asleep, but my mom and dad were walking a little trail, and they got 251
hellos.
In how much time?
In like a 20-30 minute walk. It was crazy. And you don't get that. We've talked about this on the show a bunch, but you don't get that in real life ever. So guys, you have to be the change. Be overly abundant with your kindness, right? Just do that, right? There's so many different little things that you can do. What was the other one you were going to say? You said you had two.
Yeah.
Right?
The other thing I was going to say is, you were talking about toxicity in the air and stuff. There was one of the days that I did the dishes, when I opened the thing, remember how a ton of fresh air comes out?
Oh, yeah.
This might be a bit over the top, but I kind of suffocated from all that fresh air because we're so used to this toxic, non-real air.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That first gust of real air. Yeah. Oh, it can catch you. And you should not let that happen. Like, it's crazy. Yes, radical mindfulness. Yes, that has to be it has to be a purposeful act. Like in the morning, and if you're new to the show, you haven't heard this before, but I've definitely mentioned it before. Like, when you get up in the morning and after you get dressed, like, I guys, it sounds funny. I talk dirty to myself like 5 minutes in the mirror every morning when I get dressed and I get ready, and I do it in a very playful, fun way. But I compliment how differently dressed I look today, and how I'm going to make sure when I go out, I impact someone with an extra smile, an extra happy moment, like one of those things. And you do it on purpose, and you look for it, and you go out of your way. And guys, guess what? That is the best game. The game of how many people can I surprisingly make smile today? Because guess what? No matter how many people you make, you're going to win every single time. And it's weird because this like positive mindset will keep all these other things just lined up in a positive manner for you, right? Anyone that's talked to me before about karma knows I'm not a real big believer in the base level of that, but definitely the transfer of energy and reaping what you sow in multiple degrees is very real. Right?
Yeah.
And so there's times where Amante is doing stuff around the house, and he didn't know that this extra good thing that he was doing is, well, hey, man, I'm going to take you to get some ice cream now.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, oh, you're a good dad. I'm like, well, you're a good kid. But he's just doing it just randomly. And then there's a surprise reward. Now, the thing about the way the universe works is you don't know what the reward's going to be or when it's going to come. So you just keep doing these good things, scary stuff, and wait. And then that's it. Ryan, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Monte, Toxic Air, my beautiful wife. Yes, babe. Toxic Air, he's cute. Oh yeah, Monte, he's got a big brain. We're very fortunate. He's teaching us a lot. It's really good. Sorry, I had technical difficulty. Tablet, PlayStation controller fell all over the place. It was terrible. It's terrible. Sorry, Sony. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, that's funny.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, guys, those are just different things to do to fine tune and just keep your resolutions really intact going into it this year. Okay. So Mystech. If you guys are new to the show, I've owned a biotech company. We just had our 10-year anniversary in October, right? Amante, show him your bracelet. He's got a level 2 silver on. A lot of the jewelry I wear. It's basically a frequency that restabilizes the way your protons spin at a cellular level. Okay, there's a lot more information on the website, which is mystech.net. But just because it's a new year, I want to talk about how thankful I am for every single person that's gotten on board with the Mystech movement, and especially letting my family be able to be a part of it at these festivals and see these things. And Monte, what do you think about like the festivals, man, that you got to see this year for Mystech? What do you think?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to explain, but it was just very good vibes.
Yeah.
Really quick, there's one more thing I want to
Oh, one more downstairs. Thing. Okay. All right, go ahead. I'll talk about this.
This might help them understand energy a bit more.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. I don't know what he's gonna get, but he's gonna go get something. So Mystech this year we launched our officially distributor program. We call it our reseller program, which is people that want to be able to make a side income, or even some people do it full time, becoming a distributor selling Mystech. We have over 100 people that are doing it now worldwide. It's been absolutely phenomenal, and that's allowed us just to grow in so many new areas and new ways. And it was just a very humbling year. And the people at the festivals that we met and the expos, and man, so just some like weird little fun stories. Okay, so once you have our technology within about an inch of the body, it just does things that Reiki doesn't do, crystals don't do. Now it doesn't do what they do either, so it's just a whole different thing. And next week's show on Alchemy 101, I'm going to do a sneak preview of a lecture I'm going to be giving at the Conscious Life Expo in California. So next week, if you guys can tune in, it'll probably be about the same time, at least live on Facebook and Instagram. On Artist First, it will definitely be 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But we're going to get into the human body, the perfect conductor, and really get into the science behind what happens with Mystech. But we had people this year that have had micro seizures their entire lives, decades of having seizures multiple times throughout the day, go to where now it's 2.5 years of no seizures at all. Like, we literally fix someone of their seizures with this technology, right? I couldn't tell you how many people from just the Christmas Bazaar in Portland this year that had their pain go away on the spot. Like, coming in, putting a bunch of bracelets on wherever the pain was, and in a matter of moments, boom, pain was just gone. So we just had a very, very exceptional year of growth, of just so many different things that, I was expecting to have a good year, but we had a lot of healing that happened this year, and it was absolutely phenomenal. That's funny. I mean, that's for the atomic bomb, so that's a little scary, but so he went and got like an elements book. But here, it's funny. So part of what I'm talking about for, I don't know how you guys will be able to see that, but what I'm talking about for the human body, the perfect conductor, is all the things that make up the body, right? So in this book of elements, things like hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, all these things conduct different types of energies, some electricity, some radio waves, all these things are in your body. So just even you watching this, whatever device you're using, that's good. Okay. Whatever device you're using is actually affecting the way your body is working right now. So because of all this outside interference, I'll say, not really, but I might. Don't worry, guys. It's a joke. Jokes, right? We still do that. All right, good. Maybe hit you with it. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, but so because of these things that you have in your body and all these other erratic things that are around you, your body's not always running at an optimal level. So with Mystech, as long as you have something metal or mineral, we can put in a very specific frequency that will fine tune everything within the body, and it just makes things conducting the correct way. And when that happens, we have people with less pain, with more mobility in their body, better sleep, deeper sleep, way more energy, way more focus, right? What's something that you've seen? What's something you've seen?
Oh, sorry, I was spaced out.
Yeah, no, it happens. It's okay. You're 11. It's okay. You're 11.
Yeah.
But what's something you've seen at one of the events with Mystech? Like when something you like.
One thing that I have seen at the events is a lot of happy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes they'll run super confused. Sometimes they'll have the biggest smile. That's the best part, the after reaction.
Yeah.
Like really, that's the reason of Mystech. It's not that much is really for the money, but really just to help people. That's really the reason of Mystech.
I feel like a successful parent right now, ladies and gentlemen. That if we get more people feeling that way, I think that's how we can really heal and help a lot of people. So thank you, man. Good, well said. Just like we scripted, right?
Yep.
Right, perfect. But so Mystech it was phenomenal. Jared, speaking of Mystech, how you doing, man? A couple things for Mystech that we have that are coming up. January 18th through the 20th, I believe, or 21st. I'll be doing, this is crazy now, check this out, the Chicago Family Steppers 6th Annual Award Ceremony. So we're going to be at a Chicago Step, boom, get it in, right? No? All right, yeah. But, I'm going to take some classes probably because I'll need them. But we'll be there. That's going to be amazing. I've got an event I'll be doing with Jared and Mystech Synthesis, the Conscious Life Expo, also in California. So we got a lot of good things that are coming up, guys. I'm really excited about it. It's been an amazing year for Mystech. If you have any questions about how it works, anything about the reseller program, you can email me at halo.marquise@gmail.com or just direct message me on social media. That works as well. You can also, I think, get my contact on Artist First. Right?
Can I show them the droid?
The droid. Oh yeah, we got like a little. It's okay. Sorry. We got a little BB-8. This year for Christmas. Because we do this Jedi thing for real, and I love that you brought that up. Because the last thing I want to talk about is the Order of Alchemy, the Jedi School. Mm-hmm. Okay, so guys, aside from Mystech and the radio show, the radio show really is an introductory to this vision I have of a reimagined, modernized Jedi school, and I mean Jedi as in the old Egyptian Jed, DJEDI, right, Monte? How can you break it down?
Thanks, Cody.
Oh, Cody. Oh, thanks, Cody. Yeah. Can you break down to them a Jedi? Like how, what's your interpretation?
My version of a Jedi is... Oh, that's difficult.
No wrong answer.
My idea of a Jedi is someone that is very strong in their humanly body, and maybe some people have seen Last Dragon. This is going to be a reference, but to me, a Jedi is just someone that has their soul and mind as one.
So we get the glow.
Where you get the glow, you got the glow.
Hey, the other day he made a Last Dragon reference. I almost died. Very, very proud moment for a father growing up in the 80s. It was great. But so the Jedi, I mean, what we're really talking about is learning and redisciplining yourself to really learning, studying, and practicing metaphysics, which is still science. It's just things that we don't have words for, right? So when science can say definitively this is where the human consciousness is in the body, then we can rule out the things of metaphysics. In the meantime, it's the best version that we have to study, practice, to try to understand these things. And earlier this year, literally through just meditating, reading some books, going through the Emerald Tablets of Thoth,
what?
Yeah, it's cool. We'll talk about that another day, forever, Anyways, we started developing this whole program of Jedi practices. So we have actual laser swords that are made out of acrylic blades that you can fight with, and we imprint them with different frequencies to resonate. And there's mantras, there's discipline for the fighting styles. There's a lot of really amazing things. Do you want to go grab a lightsaber real quick from the back, turn it on, just bring it on out so they can see it real quick? Most people have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's really amazing to see. Which one?
One normal one Viking.
Don't grab the Vikings, it doesn't light up. Good call. And so this year, you guys can go to orderofalchemy.com, and that will take you to at least what the provisional site's going to look like. You can sign up. We had one release where I released the first chapter of the book of the manual for Order of Alchemy called The Way of the Earth. But this year, we're going to be offering some retreats. We found this amazing space with this guy named Brian. If you're listening, man, thank you so much for offering. But we're going to be putting together like weekend workshops where you guys will be able to sign up, and we'll have workshops from morning until nighttime. We'll probably coordinate them with the full moon so we can do some ceremonies that way as well. Same thing, guys. Go to orderofalchemy.com. You can get the information there. Sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have these laser blade swords that you can. Hey, here, check it out.
Yours and mine.
Cool. So if you're on social media, you can actually see this. Go ahead, all means. If not, you can just hear them. So awesome. Sure. So they're probably really loud on the mic, so I apologize. But cool. So and they're amazing. I mean, you can fight with them, we do all these things, but guys, again, this is another thing, creating a discipline that has play involved, right? And when you do that, Amante, do you remember how big the class was that you taught? How many people?
22 people.
That was how many kids? There's 40 people total.
Oh.
So when we did Beloved, just from him doing this every day, right? And not every day, but pretty good. We're getting better this year, right? But doing it pretty routinely. We went, and for the very first time ever, Lonzo, what's up, brother? Miss you, man. Got to come by and see the new spot. Roger, good seeing you. What ended up happening was I let him teach the class, and it was 40 people that did this total, kids, adults, everything. And he had so much fun, guys. Imagine being 10 and teaching 40 people this discipline and having everyone really engaged because of the idea of this laser sword and what we understand and know of the other Jedi. Oh yeah, Rob, I know, brother. I know. I got you, man. Good seeing you. Happy New Year. But using it as a tool to implement into this fun and into this play, right? So guys, by I want to say probably May, and you guys stay on me, anyone that's interested, by May at the latest, we'll be having our first like Jedi retreat that you guys will be able to come out. We'll go through the forms. We'll have the food. Oh, you're good. All these different things to go into the real practices of learning the way of the earth, the Gaia path, and going from there. And, I hope you guys get your aura blade, get into it with your meditation, because holding these things with the vibration, there's just a lot that goes into it. And this year, I really hope everyone gets back into touch with who they are, with their inner divine being. You know what I mean?
Speaking of divine being, while you were talking about games, what would you call this?
What right now? Just this?
Yes.
Reality? Another construct for the consciousness, right?
Or in other words, a simulation.
Could be, absolutely. Could be. Absolutely could be.
Because the soul is really what controls everything.
Right.
And so, like you said, really this is just a simulation, a solid simulation.
Yeah. And so guys, here's what's funny. So even if you take this, literally or contextually, is really important in gaming. And I don't care who you are, someone in your family that does it, and whether you approve or not. But this is the thing. What I've done for Amante, for my son, just because it's something that's not going anywhere, is in a lot of these games, you have to do things you don't want to do in order to unlock the cool stuff in the game, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like a prerequisite.
Yeah.
So having that same design set up in real life. So you want to watch your show that is not really that good for you, then you have to set up a prerequisite that you have to watch something that is good for you first, right?
Yeah, which we got into that.
We got into that. And how that worked.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Actually, something very funny about that is today, when my brother was napping, I was trying to watch Naruto Season 3 and video game. But Dad, what did you say?
No, not going to work. Not going to happen. You can only do one.
Yeah. Because why?
Why? Because it needed your undivided attention.
That's how good Naruto was?
That's how good it was. Anyone that's seen it, you guys know it's that good. And again, there's things in there like the hand signs, guys. I'm telling you, they break down how to meditate, focus your energy, all that stuff. And you're out there laughing going, nah, that's a card. Okay. Try it. Go through it. It's not something you do overnight. You can see Jordan dunk. You're not going to turn around and go do it. These are things that take practice, discipline, routines, all that. And I say Jordan because that's how long it's been since I watched basketball. I got away from watching the games and turned everything into the game.
Yeah.
Right? That's just the way to do it.
Yep.
So setting up these different things that you have to do to unlock this next thing you want. Like in the morning, here's the thing I've been doing. I get up and get my coffee right away, right? I got my coffee now. Obviously. But what I do is I make sure now that I get at least a glass of water down first to unlock my coffee, which sounds silly, but to me, it was something I had to do for me. And now I'm just more hydrated, and having water first thing in the morning is really good, for me, right? So this divine being that's funny, Monte said, talking about this next week when we get into the lecture, one of the things I talk about is your body being a divine instrument, and any instrument that's out there, you have to take the time to tune. Cody, you're right. It is like a muscle. You have to exercise it. And I'm telling you guys, like, this is the thing. We get taught through school how to discipline the muscle, right? And going to the gym and all that stuff. You get that. You get the discipline on how to do your job.
And it even talks about all the different types of systems.
What does?
School.
Oh,
like
school.
the nerve system, the muscular system.
Yeah. It gets into all those different things of the medical system. Right. That's for next week. Jumping ahead. My son, he's good. He's on. But we don't ever get taught this on the spiritual development. And you could have church and religion, and that's fine to a degree, but that still is your training wheels. And so getting in and really meditating more, getting into more, right? So anyone that's coming from the religious aspect that sees all this new spiritual movement consciousness, that's like, I don't know. Even if we go with the version of the Christian gods out there and everything, right? The reason you should still meditate was, I could not tell you who said this, so I apologize. But there was a quote I read a long time ago that said, prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening. So we all know that we should do more listening and less talking. So if you spent all your life up until 2019 praying all the time and doing all the talking, maybe this is the year to turn around and start listening and finding out what guidance can put you in instead of asking for things and talking about things, and just listen and follow that and just listen to the inner voice, the inner gut, the inner being that you have that's directing you to your highest self, to make sure that when you go into 2020 next year, guys, that you're going into it with the full version of your highest loving self of who you could be to really impact the world.
Yeah.
Everyone I've seen come into the channel on both Instagram and Facebook, all of you guys are really good friends of mine I talk with pretty regularly. And I've seen all of your growth just be exceptional. And I've seen you go through ups and downs.
Excuse me?
And what's up, buddy?
Oh, this might be one of the last things I say while we have very short timing. But what I was going to say is, one thing that I 100% hope that you guys do is have way more creativity.
We said that earlier.
I know.
But just, you want that much? Okay, guys, so double creativity. If you would be paying attention to the show, put this creativity thing down. Twice. Okay, if you're back. Okay, that's a very good point. It is that important, guys. And turning everything into a game, that's going to be a real easy part of doing the creativity.
Because then everything's an achievement.
Then everything. Okay, cool. I like it. So aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it for tonight's show. Hey, Tavis, what's up, brother? Long time. But next week, I want you guys to definitely come back. Let me know how this dual Instagram, Facebook thing worked out. And again, we're going to get into just the fine-tuned instrument of the body, how the Schumann resonance works with the body. But I'm telling you guys, everyone, Little Frog Master, hey, Tavis. So guys, that's funny, man. Tavis, I ain't seen in a while. Amante, we always call him the Frog Master. He was always drawn to these things. And come to find out, there's like some weird race of aliens called the Mintakans that are out on Orion's belt that, again, guys, long, crazy story, but
even a TV show about it.
Even a TV show about it. That's right. And it's funny that you remember that. He said you're not a tadpole anymore. But he still got the little tadpole tail. You see it up here. You know what I mean? We having a good time, man. You have to come out to Portland, come check it out, man. It's been dope. But guys, so again, this is Halo Marquise. Check out mystech.net, orderofalchemy.com to get more information about the Jedi School. Orderofalchemy.org will take you to my YouTube channel where you guys can catch all the episodes of Alchemy 101. Next month, Amante will be on again. Always great to have a little wizard on. Anything you want to leave everyone with for the new year? Like any words of wisdom?
This might not be words of wisdom, but they might want to keep this in mind. Maybe if we ever do a kitchen episode, chakra kitchen.
Oh, chakra kitchen? Oh, having energy in the kitchen? Oh yeah, guys, we're gonna get into that. This year, we're gonna go crazy in all the crystal energy, the gridding, all that, right? This year, we're taking the brakes off, embracing the full wizard. So guys, this is Halo Marquise, the Alchemist. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me, finding out about turning our lead into gold. And let's all work at being better humans, guys. I love you. I'll see you. Happy New Year. Bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
Oh, I forget how to turn it off sometimes. Oh, this one. Boom. Are you guys still here? This is like the After Effects on this part where I try to figure out how to. It's somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right, love you guys.